Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about lists, okay? And in sitting down and getting ready for this video, I thought of mini lists. The 100,000 people who lost their homes due to foreclosure in September. Very unfortunate list to be on. The millions, 43 plus million people who are on food stamps. Another unfortunate list. You're beholden to the government just so you can eat. Or the millions of people who are on the tier 2 through 4 emergency unemployment benefit, who are on a list of having a very reduced amount of income, facing in 99 weeks having no income whatsoever. Once again, an unfortunate list. But the list I want to talk about first is a list that if you were on this list, you face death, point blank. This is the list of people who may be on the 500,000 documents released by WikiLeaks, these top secret documents that a private first class is sitting in a prison cell for right now. If you're on this list, there's hundreds or thousands of Americans who could face death because they are on this list, or thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign nationals that could face death because they're on this list. Now, the mainstream media, the powers that be in Washington, they all want you to be angry and convinced that all of this information was released by an E3, a private first class in the Army. For those of you who haven't had military service, this rank is achieved very quickly. 6 months to a year, if you play your cards right, you're going to achieve this rank or higher. So we're supposed to believe, and we're supposed to have anger generated toward this young private, and we're supposed to believe that he had access to all this classified information. Not only did he have access to it, that the safeguards that are supposed to keep this information safe failed, and he was able to get it out into the public domain through WikiLeaks. Now, it's stunning to me that in the greatest empire in the history of this nation, represented by the greatest military in the history of this nation, that this kind of incompetence can happen. But yet here we are. Private First Class Manning sitting in a prison cell, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people of lives in danger because they're on that list. Now I want to talk about another list. This list is a list of the elite. This is a list that you're not going to hear about very much anymore because the SEC has ruled that Mazzillo, former CEO of Countrywide, has to pay a $67 million fine, but we're not going to talk about the list anymore. Now, on this list, these are people who received sweetheart deals, sweetheart mortgages from Countrywide before they failed and were absorbed by Bank of America. Some of the people I've been able to find on this list, and I'll attach the story with this video, are people like, in my opinion, fleeing the ship rat Chris Dodd, who is the banking committee chairman. He received a couple sweetheart loans from Countrywide. Kent Conrad on the finance committee, he received a couple sweetheart loans from Countrywide. Henry Cisneros, Clinton's housing secretary, he received a sweetheart deal. Alfonso Jackson, so you don't think I'm picking on the Democrats, he was Bush's housing secretary. He also received a deal. In fact, when it was rumored he was going to be named the head of HUD, the chairman of HUD, his daughter was put on the list to receive a VIP, Friends of Mazzillo special loan. And the CEOs of Fannie Mae, Franklin Raines, and James Johnson, they also ended up on the list. Now, the list goes on and on. It's estimated to be in the dozens, if not hundreds, of people who made the Countrywide secret Friends of Mazzillo list. And what did they get for? What did he get for his money? Well, he got a pretty sweet deal, because even though the SEC slapped him with a $67 million fine, he doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing, and he only has to come up with about $22.5 million. Now, I know that seems like a lot of money, and it is. In fact, it's more money in 2010 than it was back in 2008 when the subprime mortgage mess imploded. What I mean by that is for the last 2 years, your income is falling. In the last 2 years, more people are on unemployment. More people are on food stamps. So $22 million today is actually more money than it was in 2008. But no worries, because he's got that kind of money just laying around, because I think it equates to about 6 months worth of his bonuses or pay during the height of the subprime mortgage heyday. 45 million of it, Bank of America is alleged to be paying for. That money, again, is another gift from you or I, because they got bailed out. They got millions and billions of dollars in guarantees and in zero interest loans. So they're going to go ahead and cover the former CEO of Countrywide to the tune of $45 million. You and I have already paid the $22.5 million salary that he's got. So he's going to get off scot-free. So this Friends of Mozilla list was a pretty good investment on his part. And it seems like that's what our nation has turned into. We are a nation of lists. And if you're not on the right list, guess what? You're nothing. You don't matter. You can be placated to, and you can be talked down to, and the people who are on the right lists will always be taken care of. The people who are on the right list will continue to consolidate power and give it out to their corporatocracy masters in the world of finance, the too big to fails. Stories are attached. That's all I got.